mindset, patterns, they form a behavior, patterns, they form your belief system, patterns, they form your culture, which are things are hard to break from. So godly patterns can be passed on or inherited. And these are some of ways we can pass or inherit godly patterns. One is godly parenting. This is passing your ideas, values, and convictions to your children. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 5, it talks about a woman called Lois. The Paul notices and tells Timothy, the faith I see in you was in your grandmother, not even his mother, was in your grandmother, Lois. That means Lois was able to pass his convictions to his child, or to the mother of Timothy. And the mother of Timothy was able to pass his convictions to his son. That means godly patterns can be passed. What are your generation inheriting? What are you passing to your next generation? Are you passing curses? Are you passing evil patterns? Or are you passing faith? Are you passing wealth? Are you passing a goodness? Are you passing a reputation? Godly patterns. Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22 verse 6. The Bible says, train a child in the way he should go, and in keeping with his individual gift or bent, and when he is old, will not depart from it. The word here is train a child in the way he should go, and in keeping with his individual gift or bent, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Why? Because by the time the child is becoming old, you have built a certain belief system. You have built a certain culture. You have built a particular pattern, a system of beliefs through the child. And that child is able now to pass your mentality, your thoughts, your convictions. Another way we can pass godly pattern is through impartation. Laying of hands or impartation is powerful, a spiritual tool that one can pass or confess some of your attributes to someone else. Laying of hands or impartation is a powerful spiritual tool that one can pass or confess some of your attributes to someone else. Through impartation, you can share some of your honor. You can share your authority. You can share wisdom with someone else. Numbers 27. Numbers 27. Numbers 27 verse 18. The Lord said to Moses, take Joshua, son of Nun, a man in whom is a spirit, and lay your hand upon him. God is commanding Moses to lay hand on his Joshua. And verse 19, and set him before Eleazar the priest and all the congregation, and give him a charge in their sight. Verse 20, this is where my psalm is coming from. And verse 20, the Bible says, and put some of your honor and authority upon him, that all the congregation of Israel may obey him. That means a man can pass. By laying hands, a man can pass some honor upon you. A man can pass wisdom upon you. A man can pass authority in your life. Just by laying a honor. God come and lay your hand. Put some of your honor and authority upon him. Impartation. Impartation is one of the spiritual tools that one can pass godly patterns. And also it can pass evil patterns. So through impartation you can share some of your honor, some of your authority, some of your wisdom to someone else. Another way that we can pass godly patterns is through mentorship. Mentorship platform provides guidance, provide feedback, provide network, support, and goal achievement, and offer encouragement. The platform we call mentorship, it is a platform that provides guidance, provides feedback, provides networks, supports, goal achievement, and sometimes it offers encouragement, especially in seasons of trials. The work of a mentor is to empower the mentee, to introduce the mentee in its environment, and give the mentee feathers until the mentee becomes independent. By sharing their experiences and insight, their wisdom, and their privileges in life. But for you to be mentored, you need to have a grace to follow. Moses mentored Joshua, Elijah mentored Elisha, Paul mentored Timothy. Matthew 4:19. Matthew 4:19. And he said to them, come after me as disciple. Let me be your guide. In other words, let me be your mentor. Follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men. For you to be mentored, you need to have grace to follow, because it is in the following you are able to be transformed, to be made. He tells them, follow me, accept me to be your guide, and follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men. Another way that you can pass godly patterns is through what we call mantles. Mantles is an outer garment or a cloak that symbolizes authority. It symbolizes divine calling, spiritual power. When we talk about mantles, we are talking about the outer garment, the cloak, the priest, the prophet in the Old Testament used to wear, that symbolizes authority, divine calling, spiritual power. Holding pass from one person to another. There is a way a man can walk with the car, especially in our time, and God invests some form of power, some form of authority, some form of influence, some form of wisdom, some form of intelligence, and that one becomes a mantle that he can pass from one person to another. Mantles only fell on men by election of grace. Mantles are not given. Mantles, they fall on men. As you stay, as you follow, as you relate, as you serve, mantles fall on men by election of grace. Sometimes you don't choose which mantle to receive. Mantles, they follow men by election of grace. Mantles of leadership, mantles of business, mantles of ministry, mantles in the areas of politics, leadership. We always find an expression within a family bloodline in every generation. As long as there is one of you in that family, either was a preacher, either was a politician, either was a businessman, that mantle will always, every generation, there will always be people who that mantle will be located. Why? Because mantles are spiritual. Mantles are generation. Mantles, they found man by election of grace. I came to ask you, what are you passing? I came to tell you, purpose to pass faith, to pass wealth, to pass influence, to pass wealth, to pass wisdom, to pass honor, to pass values to the next generation. Godly patterns are methodology, are prescribed way of producing certain result. Not every result is of God, but when you follow godly patterns, you always have godly results. And those godly results, you can pass them to your next generation, to your children, to the people, to your mentees, in the name of Jesus. And I pray today, may God give you the grace to build according to his pattern, to build the business according to his pattern, to build the ministry according to his pattern, to have leadership according to the godly pattern. What will you pass after you have come? Will you leave abandoning? Will you leave debts? Will you leave curses? Say no. Curses